Hello and welcome to the worksheet video, the video for the worksheet of Algebra 1, number 11. Make sure you're on the correct worksheet before we get started. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the common theme for this worksheet is distribution. Like it's a little My Little Pony reference. Distribution is magic. More important than friendship for this. Okay, so we're going to simplify. First thing you want to do is let's break this up. We're going to distribute into it. But I'm going to, some of you may know how to do that, but I'm going to show you how you can break it out and show it in a more slower but more accurate way. And as you get better, you'll probably be able to start doing this in your head a little bit more efficiently. But for those of you that this is brand new, here's how you do it. We're going to section off the parentheses, meaning everything inside the parentheses, we're going to draw a line like that. Because that is everything we're going to multiply this 2x by. And now you can rewrite it into three separate problems where you do 2x times x squared, 2x times 4x, 2x times negative 1. Don't fall into that trap where you're like, oh, 2 times 1. No, because you just look at this, oh, subtract 1, so just 2 times 1. Don't do that. This negative comes down with it. That's the concept that just applies no matter what when you're dealing with distribution in parentheses. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. So 2x times x squared. This is taking it back a couple weeks, but we go ahead and multiply 2 times 1, because remember, ninja 1, 2, and then x times x squared. Again, there's a ninja 1. Lots of ninja 1s. You guys are starting to see a trend here. We have the variable is the same. We're multiplying, so we add the exponents. So over here, 2 times 4 is 8. X times x, ninja 1, ninja 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Because remember, when we're multiplying the same variable times itself, we add the exponents. Add the exponents. And then finally, 2x times negative 1 equals negative 2x. Finally, you combine the results by order of exponents. So we've got 2, meaning the biggest exponent goes first, then the next biggest exponent, and I'm going to add it because it's positive. That's why. I'm not adding it because you always add. If it's positive, it's add. And this is a negative number, so I'm just going to do minus 2x. Order of exponents, 3, 2, 1, and you're done. Now technically it's okay, and you're not really hurting anything if your exponents are out of order, but on the test, which is going to be multiple choice, you're going to notice that it's always going to be in that order, so just get in the habit of writing that order so you're used to seeing it that way, and you won't trip yourself up or fall into a trap on the test. Alright, now what happens when they get a little more complicated? Instead of just having one term distributing in, you have an expression that's getting multiplied by another expression. So there's two methods. Problem number 2, I'm going to show you method 1, which is FOIL. Problem number 3, I'm going to show you boxes. They're both equally valuable, equally effective. Just some students like one or the other, and it doesn't matter which one you pick. I'm showing you both. You pick the one you like and stick with it. Alright, so FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. So for the first, what the first means is that of the two expressions, the first term in both, multiply them. We're going to do a whole bunch of multiplying here. So 2x times 3x is 6x squared. So I'm going to put that down here. Then outer, you're going to multiply the two outer ones. Now I would draw the lines just like I'm doing on this problem, but you don't have to rewrite the problem 4 times. I'm doing that so it doesn't get too messy here. But usually when students use this, they just draw the lines on the same expression, like right there written on the paper. So anyways, you can draw another line from 2x to 1 because the outer, the two problems on the outside, or the two terms on the outside, go ahead and multiply those. 2x times 1, and you're going to put that all the way at the end of your answer. And then finally we have inner. That's the two inside things. Because see, there's four terms. If you kind of pretend the parentheses aren't there for just a second, the two inside terms, multiply those. So negative 3 times 3 is negative 9x. So we're going to write that right here. And then finally the last of the two parentheses, we've done the two first ones. Now we're going to do the two last ones. So negative 3 times positive 1 is negative 3. But if you do it this way, it's not all going to work out. You're not going to see an answer that looks just like this. You're going to have to combine some like terms, keeping in order of the exponent. So we got exponent of 2, which is first. That's the biggest one. There's no other x to the second powers to combine it with, so we're just going to write it right there. There's no other like terms. Like terms are variables that have the same exponent. So the next biggest exponent with a variable would be the x. Remember, that means ninja 1s. And we have two of them with ninja 1s, so let's go ahead and combine those. Negative 9 and positive 2 is negative 7, and we just keep the x. We're adding them together. We're not multiplying, so the exponents aren't going to change there. And then finally we just have a lonely negative 3. There's no other numbers that also don't have a variable, so minus 3. And that's it. That's your answer. Some of you in algebra might have gotten to the point where you have to factor this out. Don't worry about that. If you see a problem like that where they say simplify, no, because remember, factoring it is taking this and going back to that. So no, don't freak out about that. When you see something like this, there'll be no parentheses in the answer. So if you see that in the multiple choice, get rid of any parentheses options. There should be no parentheses, just x2, x, and no x. Number 3, so now we're going to do the box method. This is my preferred method. I don't have a good reason for it other than just how I was taught, so it's what I'm more comfortable with. I can't tell you that this is better for you. I just like it. So if you ask me for help, I'm probably going to teach it to you this way outside the video. Alright, so the setup is left, left, right, top. So we've got the two expressions that we're multiplying into each other. So left goes on the left. Put the x here and negative 4 here. And I go in the order of like x first, kind of like that order of exponents. And then 2x minus 1, so 2x minus 1, because it's the right one, so I put it on top. So that's how you set up a problem using the boxes. Then multiply at cross sections. So what that means is, starting at the top, if you draw a line here and draw another line here, they meet at this point. Multiply that at that cross section. So 2x times x equals 2x squared. And then if you were to continue going down, this one would come over, cross section, 2x times negative 4 equals negative 8x. And we'll keep on going. So this x were to actually keep going on, it would eventually meet in this box. So x times negative 1 is negative x. Because the ninja 1 can pop up and it can go away. So I'm just going to write negative x because it's less messy that way. And the ninja can go hide again to come back later. And then down here we just continue on with the idea. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Now when I work these out, I don't draw the lines, the little dots. I'm just doing that to show you that where these invisible lines meet, that's where you multiply and put an answer. Now just like the other problem though, you can't just write this as your answer. You have to collect like terms. You're not getting out of that no matter which method you choose. It's just visually, aesthetically, what do you prefer? So again, order of exponents. 2x squared, no other squareds. We got an x with a ninja 1 and an x with a ninja 1. So that means negative 8 and negative x is minus 9x. Because we're just combining like terms, not multiplying them, combining them, meaning like adding them. So two negative symbols, keep the symbol, and add the numbers. And then a 4 there, there's no other numbers without an exponent, so plus 4. And that's your answer. Last problem. Simplify. This one actually, I think, is a little less complicated than the last two, even though it looks a whole lot scarier. So first, rewrite it into 3 new problems. So I made it to problem 1, 2, and 3. How did I do that? I took this number right here and divided it by the denominator. Then I took this one and multiplied it, oops, we got the squared there, and divided by the denominator. And then I took this one over here and divided it by the denominator. So I got 3 problems. Now, I'm going to solve each of those new problems. So just like we've done in the past, because we've gone over how to divide fractions with variables, 4 divided by 2, and then the bigger exponent's on top, so the x is going to stay there, and then you subtract the exponents. Ninja 1, 3 minus 1 is 2. Over here, we're going negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, and then we divide the variables, so Ninja 1, x squared's bigger, so x goes on top, 2 minus 1 is 1. And then finally, 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then x and x, oh, they cancel out. So no x at all. And now fortunately, we have nothing on the bottom to worry about. So let's just combine like terms and be done. 2x squared and minus x. I'm going to have those ninja ones go back into hiding to come back later, just like I told you they would. And then I got a positive 3, so add 3. And there's your answer. If you have any questions, please ask them. Go ahead and get started on your practice problems, and thank you.